your goals in this entertainment industry? And what work is needed to achieve these goals? Do you set yourself a timeline like, if I don't achieve this goal by X years, I'll call it quits? Okay, so I do remember answering this question before, but I don't remember my answer, so maybe it's changed, I don't know. Right. My goal in this entertainment industry was that to just be in one Chinese costume. Whether it be a film or TV, I did not care. That was my goal. And that goal has been met, which is why my hair is short. What work is needed to achieve these goals? Well, I've covered it in the thread, and I'm also covering it here. Number one, you really, really, really need to be good in Chinese. I'm not, and that's been a problem for me. When I go for auditions, generally the directors will be like, your acting is fine, but you're Chinese. It's a big problem. So that's number one, Chinese. There's no getting around it, unfortunately. And according to my film teacher, he's like, I know you're working on your Chinese, but you also need to work on enunciation. And all Chinese actors here need to work on enunciation because they come from all sorts of different provinces and accents and dialects, but they all need to be standardized, which is why a lot of Chinese film and TV, they get dubbed over. Some lucky punks don't get dubbed over because maybe the director thinks that their way of speech is totally fine. So there you go. Chinese, number one. And number two, relationship building. Again, we talk about 关系. In China, being with an agency is actually very unimportant. You have to find your own job. You have to find your own roles. You have to find the directors, and you have to convince them that you are someone that they should hire for their next project. You don't need an agency. Yeah, I realized that a little too late. But also knowing a lot of casting agents will help as well, especially as you go up, because it's hard, you know, as a new person, you're not going to know those directors, but you will know those casting agents. And if you do a good job, a lot of them want to add your WeChat. Yes, you need WeChat. A lot of them want to add your WeChat, and they will pull you in for other gigs. So do I set a timeline for myself? Not really, because in this industry, it's hard to know when you would ever make it. Some people make it really fast. Some people could take up to 10 years, you know, living in a small room in Beijing and just trying to make ends meet. I've seen articles about actors who go through that, and that's just a fact of this industry. Number one, there are a lot of people in China. A lot of people in China. You ask any Chinese person, are there a lot of people in China? They'd be like, huh, of course. And of course, there's going to be a lot of aspiring actors here in China. But as you can see through film and TV, only a few get selected, number one, and are pretty much used for every single show. You know who they are. I don't need to say who they are. You know it if you watch dramas. And that's because they know the directors. Yeah, that's, you just reminded me of another story. We'll go through that soon, if there's time. Yeah, so I don't have a specific timeline. My specific timeline is how much money I burn, how many shows or roles that I get per year or per quarter, and whether I have done a costume show. Those are my only goals. Like I hold zero hopes of ever being a famous and big Chinese actress here in China. So yeah, I'm realistic. I'm 100% realistic. All right, next one. Oh, you should do what Chengduling did. Live in Hengdian, work hard, and end up as a cameo for every show that's come up post-COVID. Okay. All right, so like I said before, I will be making a video about Hengdian itself in one of my travel videos around China, which please watch. I put a lot of effort into these. About working in Hengdian as an extra and then working your way up. As a foreigner, no. That's not going to happen. Because to work in Hengdian as a foreground or background, or work your way up, you need to have a Chinese identification card. To register for the exam, to get a Hengdian Actors Guild pass. To be an extra, you need to have a pass. To get the pass, you need to take an exam. To take the exam, you need a Chinese ID card, which I do not have. So I have friends who have been in Hengdian working all sorts of different things in different roles in the industry. Some of them have been there for like 5-10 years. Most of them do not recommend it as a long-term gig, that's for sure. The conditions are quite tough and the pay is very minimal. So in Hengdian, because there's so many people every day who want to be, cameo and things like that, there is a line out the door for registration. And so one of my friends recently went because he really likes costume drama as well. He's a Chinese guy, so he has the identification ID. And so he said, look, I will go and scout it for you and I'll let you know how it goes. So he went there and he was like, number one, you need the ID card. Number two, it's going to take you 3 weeks minimum just to wait for an exam spot to open. He's like, every day people will line up by 7 a.m. to try and get a spot. And for 3 weeks, people will be waiting just to get a spot. So if you have an ID card, but you're not in China, good, but you're also gonna need a lot of time put aside to be able to go through that process. Now, number two, working in Hengdian. In the winter, it is so cold because again, there are no heating systems there. So good luck. And also, the pay currently for extras in Hengdian is 100 kwai a day. That is not a lot. You get fed on set, which is, just a normal takeout boxes that pretty much every project in China provides. It's a rice box, soup, maybe there's a mantao or bun, and that's it. For breakfast, generally it's soy milk, maybe mantao or buns. Some of them have youtiaos or like and so rinse repeat, you would eat that pretty much every day. You may see some main actors, they'll bring in their own food just because it's healthier, and after eating rice for maybe 6 days in a row for every meal, it kind of grinds on you. So Hengdian itself, as I will allude to in the future video, the city itself it's really bad. It's yeah. But I don't know, it's kind of funny thinking that all these big actor and actresses, on this social media, bro. Okay, social media will show you, oh, they live such great lives, they're always followed by fans. No. Hengdian City is a dump. That's all I can say. It's got this huge river passing through, but it's very underdeveloped and it's also kind of dirty. But there's a lot of production agencies out there. So as an actor, if your production agency is out there, a lot of the times you also have to be there. And I've been to those hotels where a lot of fans wait outside. This is the magic of social media. You can tell whether a actor or actress, how well they're treated by their companies. Usually they belong to the production companies. Some of them belong to agencies instead, but that's another story. If you want to hear more, just mention it in the comments. I don't want to make this too long of a video, but based on where they stay in Hengdian, you can tell how well they're treated. I think this is something that a lot of fans don't realize. And so a lot of the fan videos or paparazzi videos of actors coming out of those hotels, I've seen those hotels. They are motels. They are probably I wouldn't even say they're 3-star hotels. But as long as you know, put your camera angle at the right spot, no one's gonna know. How would they know? Unless you go to Hongdian, unless you work there.
How would they know?
It's all razzle dazzle, yeah. Anyway, in Hongdian, it's pretty common to run into someone else that you may or may not know. So I hope that answers your question around working and living in Hongdian. Also, yeah, because you're paid that low, 100 kwai a day, it's really not a lot. But at least, you know, food is covered. A lot of people stay in really bad condition accommodation, maybe 4 to 6 person a room, to make sure that they can save some money. So if you're willing and you meet all the requirements and conditions to get that actor's pass, it's worth a try. It's worth a try. But there are other ways. There are other ways. You don't have to go that way. All right, next. All right. Okay, I think I've answered this one, but what job boards do you look at to find PA jobs? I can barely read and speak Chinese, but I'm curious, lol. There are job boards here in China, 51, I think it's called 51 jobs. 自聘 is another one. But a lot of PA jobs are also posted on the production companies' websites. You can actually also study to become an assistant or an agent here in Beijing. At the Beijing Film Academy, they actually have a department to train people up to be assistants and agents. Either way, you are going to have to be able to read and speak Chinese fluently if you want to be a PA, because you have to run the lines with your actor, help them prepare, things like that. So yeah, comes back to learning Chinese. All right. Did you get your job appointments from your agency or have to do your own job searching? Yeah, so I've answered this one already, but my agency here, absolutely useless. So they do give some audition options, but most of the good stuff, you have to do your own job search. Once again, through 关系. Okay. Not exactly breaking into the entertainment world, but do you have any insights on how to become an actor's personal assistant? Okay, literally we just answered this one. My current dream is to become Liu Yining's PA and take care of the dog Daimi on sets. Yeah. Gotta pick up Chinese, and then if your Chinese is fluent, check out his agency or his production company, if he's with a production company, because a lot of production companies also do artist management. So that's why the actors are with the production companies. And a lot of the times, actually, that's a red flag. So yeah, take a look at that. Maybe their company is hiring, the production company, they're hiring PA assistants. So that's an option for you. Was it hard to get a gig in China in the entertainment industry being from another country? What do you think was your advantage in getting a gig? Okay, this has been marked as also been answered before in the Reddit thread, but was it hard? I think if you don't want to put in the effort, and this sounds really obvious, but I know acting students here at the Beijing Film Academy who are like that. They expect the work to magically come to them. That's not how it works. Okay, that's not how it works. If you are willing to put in the work, put in the effort to look for these jobs, to put yourself out there and just try and audition and know people and just be really authentic as well, it's not hard. What is hard is the Chinese aspect, the language aspect. I think from there you can really work your way up. But again, there are a lot of factors at play. the lack of investment money in the industry now, the which in turn makes directors not willing to work with new or upcoming actors because they're thinking you're not going to bring in the money because you don't have fans. And that's another thing. If you have fans as an influencer in China, if you're well known as an influencer, you have a big foot in the door already because you bring the fans. But you also have to have decent acting, else everyone's just gonna about you online. So what do you think your advantage was in getting a gig? I don't know, just being stupid, I guess. Like, seriously. Is that an industry-wide standard where if you do your own job search, your agency doesn't get a cut? I'm asking because I've heard that Bailu does her own job searches because Yu Zheng doesn't give her many opportunities. Answered. Okay, this one, I'm not sure entirely how much. It's been marked that I answered this in Reddit, but some recent developments in what I've known about makes me a little bit hesitant to answer the second part, only because I know people in Bailu's agency, so I'm not sure how much I should say about this. Okay, but the first thing is, if you do your own job search as an actor here in China, your agency does not get a cut. Zero. Everything is yours. It's only between you and the production company that hires you. Let's not talk about specific actors here in this situation. But this alludes back to what I was saying just now. If an actor is tied to a production company because they are also managing them versus an actor having their own company or studio, as they call them here in China, to manage their own affairs, for me, I think that's a really big red flag because of the way that actually runs. I actually have another video coming up as well.